YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji, and we are back in between the ropes. This is the channel where we let it talk all things entertainment, media, and TV, and of course, at the forefront of a lot of that in my life is Wrestlemania, wrestling, WWE, and we're headed right towards Wrestlemania. Speaking of the big WM, number 41, this is the final Raw before we head ourselves over to Las Vegas, and this is what we get. The show started off with Gunther, the ring general, Gunther. He shows up. He's not happy. Michael Cole starts to interview the guy, and Gunther's getting straight to it. Give me the mic. After hearing a sea of boos from the crowd, he addresses these people and lets them know how he feels. And he feels good. He lets y'all know he feels good. He doesn't care about what he did to Jay. He doesn't care about what he did to Jimmy. And actually, what he wanted to do was let Jimmy know and let Jay know that he was going to tell Mama Uso about how happy, how good he felt because of the control that he had over the two sons. And Gunther's continued to hint at that he's never been out of control. He's never felt like he's not been lacking any confidence. And the moment in the scene that we all witnessed, him being splattered with blood, caked in blood from Jimmy Uso, and just watching it just inches away, Jay just tries to do all he can to assist his brother. Gunther just laughs. Says, Michael Cole, you people, y'all understand. I'm going to put this boy down for time number 4. He can't hang with me. He's not on my level. And honestly, Gunther, y'all know how I feel about Gunther. He's amazing. I hate that I feel like the WWE is going to strip him away from this title. I do think that his reign has just been a little bit, lackluster, but I think that's not a fault of his. He ran through the competition. And unfortunately, most of the guys that are vying for the Intercontinental Championship are also vying for the World Heavyweight Championship. So it's not really a distinction between the two. And they didn't give him enough time to really create anything between any of these guys. And even Gunther mentioned that he was looking for a new, fresh start after subduing Jey Uso at Saturday Night Main Event. Like, he might have been with the likes of CENA, CM Punk, maybe even Goldberg. And that would have made sense because these are guys that are vying for an opportunity. But unfortunately, for some strange reason, we see Jey Uso. Look, I'm not gonna be the one to pile on the hate of Jey Uso, the people that hate behind the closed doors, but in person trying to yeet. But I just don't think that this was done in a manner that makes any sense. And I hate it because the excuses behind this feud have been that they haven't got enough time to really build anything. But unfortunately, bro, I think it's just tough for us to get behind Jey Uso because, they gave him the token win when he beat Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. And then it was stripped away from him by the Bloodline, which gave him a reason to join Roman Reigns, even though Roman Reigns never really apologized to Jey Uso. He hasn't shown any real growth in his character because he told Roman, if you disrespect me or if you don't apologize, I'm gone. Well, you didn't hold true to your word. So now, months later, you told us that you were so confident about what you were going to do to Gunther. You lost. You headed to WrestleMania after winning the Royal Rumble, and now you're confident again? It's tough for me to get behind this, man. We saw, let's just say, for example, in '08, okay? When John Cena returned in the Royal Rumble in 2008, bro, this was amazing. I remember being so hyped because I was like, bro, this guy has vanquished death itself. Randy Orton thought he took this dude out. Brother, you can't beat Mr. Cena. Triple H was baffled. I would be baffled too if I was Triple H. Because, brother, it seemed like the opportunity was right there between his fingers, right in his grasp, the fight against Randy Orton. Nope, John Cena came back. And look, they took this build for months. And it culminated in a triple threat match. It was good TV. And we saw in the Vince era, there were plenty of scenarios where each and every week on Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw that we were even seeing a lot of the main eventers participating in matches that we believed could have been on PLEs, but the build is what separated the PLEs from the matches on Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. Yet we haven't gotten a solid build for majority of these weeks. again, like I said, I think the WWE wants to do the thing where they get the crowd yeeting and everybody's happy and hype, and it'll set the tone for WrestleMania 41 if Gunther loses the belt. I just don't think he should lose it, but I think that's the direction they're going to head into, because it may at least give us as fans and then Gunther an opportunity to kind of refresh and reset and overcome some new obstacles and some new challenges and some new challengers on his road back to the top. Our next match of the day, for some strange reason, was Bayley matching up against Liv Morgan. Again, I don't believe that this is a match that even should have made any sense in the first place. I would be cool with this being a WrestleMania match. But unfortunately, Liv Morgan, after all the great work that she did last year, is being relegated to the tag team division. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but unfortunately, she's been relegated to the tag team division with nothing to do. Like, Bianca Belair sacrificed an entire year with Jade and Naomi in order to do the most to uplift the tag team division. Yet, the tag teams that saw a lot of tag team light in TV time are not the ones that are getting any type of love as we head into WrestleMania 41. Again, we talk about the Gauntlet match in which, same night, Bayley and Lyra vanquished all the foes. Well, if this is the tag team division, and just because you have a big name, you can team up with somebody and y'all can win that now, like, it kind of defeats all the purpose of, like, you know, tag teams. But for some strange reason, again, these women are having a singles match. Don't really know why. The only thing I can see here is that they'll likely be billed for one of these women to turn. That's going to be Bayley or Lyra, which would add a little bit of refresh to both of their characters. Don't know what happened to Roxanne Perez. I'm just going to continue to move along and act like it's not a big deal. But yeah, I don't know where she's at. I don't know what's going on. Lyra, I don't know how many times we've heard her speak on the mic. Doesn't look like we really care about her being the Intercontinental Champion. It's fine, though, because she gets a tag team match, I guess. And again, this kind of speaks to what my problems have been when it comes to WrestleMania 41. It's been that all this is glorified, like, stardom. All we're doing is it's like a walk of fame. We're just putting all the biggest names on the PLE and just hoping that you guys are going to click because you get to see all their favorite superstars. There's no proper build. None of this makes any sense. And it just is what it is, I guess, at this moment. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a turn because we've got some hints in this match. And even Lyra fighting a little dirty to ensure that Bayley gets a win. I was going to just say something too. And I think that there's room for, like, match number 3 of these women where they fight for their Intercontinental Championship, and this means something. Bayley's on a trek to, you know, win all the titles that she hasn't won before. Until that Intercontinental Championship and that U.S. Championship could be calling her name to, you know, truly cement herself as a Grand Slam champ. Speaking of random matches, we got Rey Mysterio then matching up against one of the Creed brothers. Look. I'm no hater. These are good matches. Just don't make any sense. This is the Raw before WrestleMania. Like, literally, like 6 days. 5 days. We got WrestleMania. I'm not mad at it. Again, we have to link these matches in order to make it make sense. Why is Rey Mysterio fighting against the Creed brother? He's fighting against El Grande Americano. At WrestleMania, what in the world does the Creeds have to do with this guy? Anyways, I lost a little respect for Rey Mysterio too, because after the Alpha Academy, American Made, and LWO are ejected from the ringside, my boy, El Grande Americano, shows up, and after he shows up, Rey Mysterio tries to snatch his mask off. Zero honor. Anyways, the metal plate in the mask thing works again, and Grande Americano subdues Rey Mysterio and the LWO. I honestly think this is going to be an exciting match. And again, my problem with WrestleMania 41 is not the matches. I think a lot of them are going to be solid matches. This is going to be a very good one. Doesn't really make any sense. Chad Gable's been busting his tail for months to over a year, bro, to even try to get himself an opportunity at WrestleMania 40. But that just for some reason was just thwarted by Sami Zayn, and when Sami Zayn won the championship, we had like a Chad Gable thing, and then that was it. But Grande Americano could just show up and get his opportunity. It's a little strange to me. I don't think this is a problem. I think the build and the stories have been lackluster when it comes to us heading into WrestleMania 41, especially following WrestleMania 40. And honestly, following WrestleMania 39. We then had the phenomenal one. And I'm not going to lie. This feud is starting to cook. It's starting to grow on me, man. AJ Styles showed up and he matched up against Karrion Kross. Finally, getting some TV time. Finally. I think this is an interesting match because Karrion Kross has pointed and hinted to how important it is that AJ Styles beats Logan Paul, because the recurring trope has been Logan Paul is not built for this. He's not here for the right reasons. He hasn't earned his stripes. Da 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 da. Well, brother, if you lose to Logan Paul, that says a lot more about you, and that it might be just time for you to hang it up. And I ain't gonna lie, I like Karrion Kross because it's about time we see some more methodical, slow-witted, and technical wrestlers, and even the big bruisers, man. I'm cool with that. I'm tired of seeing all these guys flipping. It's cool. Look, I love to see the guys flipping. I take it back. But I mean to say, in regards to what it means for some of these characters and what it means for like the logistics. Bro, we keep seeing like 7-footers, and we're seeing like the War Raiders, these big boys, either trying to do flips. It's cool. I'm not knocking it, but there's a savvy that comes to fighting. Like Karrion Kross is a multifaceted fighter in reality. So it only makes sense that he would carry that to his wrestling, and he's going to be calculated and methodical and isolate body parts and take his time to gloat and really live in the moment. But interestingly enough, it seems as if his whole purpose for this match was not for him to win. It was for him to bring out a side in AJ that we haven't seen just yet. He's been mediocre, even to the point where AJ hits the phenomenal forearm. You can look at Kross, his hands are behind his back. He's like, all right, I'm willing for this final sacrifice. This might be the moment that we can finally see AJ Styles become the phenomenal one. And in the midst of a celebration, Logan Paul thwarts it, and he lets the crowd know that AJ Styles is cool. And AJ Styles, I'm here to congratulate you because that was a nice match. And I'm excited for what we're going to do. We're going to cook. And I agree. Logan, you're a genius. So he cuts to his vignette, his promo. And look, it was a good one. AJ talks some smack, and Logan Paul ends up in the ring, hitting him with that clean hook, and then putting him on the ground with the pulverizer. I'm cool with the... And he's like, bro, looks like we're friends right now. We're not. Put him right to the mat. Put him right to the ground. Again, I'm actually excited for this match because it actually means something. AJ Styles has lost the last few matches. Logan Paul has lost the last few matches. It's time for one of them to unearth this wins that they're both looking for. And this could mean the turning of a guard one way or the other. There's going to have to be some development one way or the other between these guys. And then again, piggybacking off the Gunther thing, Gunther came out there and like was one of the highlights of the show. Like him coming out and dropping that promo was amazing. Our ring general is back. Jey Uso comes out and looks like he's going to be serious as he walks through the crowd. Takes the glasses off, and then he just, goes back to the Jey Uso that we've been seeing, is Mr. Yeet Man. Hear my music. Yeet. And again, I'm going to blame the crowd because y'all have done a very, 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 very big part in ruining a lot of these matches, ruining a lot of these moods, and allowing this stuff to develop. I'll also say, in the middle of all this going on, we did see segments like Jackie trying to go talk to the New Day after the War Raiders cut a promo, and they were actually deranged, talking about how they are really the greatest tag team in the world because they've won gold in all continents and countries around the world. Look, stop all that nonsense. Guys, we literally forgot that y'all existed. Y'all came and returned. Y'all won the championships, then disappeared, and then fought against American Made, and now... because the New Day snapped their fingers and said, you know what we want? We want them tag team championships because y'all not holding them right. Y'all know what to do with them. Then y'all get a championship match in the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, in the WrestleMania 41. That's just not how that should work. I've literally heard the World Raiders hit one or two promos. And that has been through vignettes. No, y'all don't get to be on WrestleMania. New Day, take them championships away from them. New Day's done a terrible job, too, being built because won the crowd. Y'all haven't let them speak when they first turned heel on Big E. That was months ago. We forgot about y'all existing. They even allude to it because they talk about when Jackie interviews them and it says, "Did you see what the War Raiders said about you?" They're like, "Oh, we're used to this." You see how nobody's letting us in the locker room, guys? That's like what? This cannot be. This cannot be the thing that's pushing y'all. Please, but I'm not gonna lie. New Day, just win this and take the titles off of them dudes. Like send them back to where they need to be. Again, though, if we're talking about tag teams and development of the tag teams, don't understand why all those guys that are working hard on SmackDown are not getting an opportunity, yet the War Raiders are. These guys that have been building feuds in a match for months haven't gotten anything, yet the War Raiders are getting the match on WrestleMania card. It's ridiculous. All I know is I better snap my fingers and after Saturday, and by Saturday, we better at least have the announcement of Street Profits being in WrestleMania card. Because Friday night, defending the championships and then acting like everything's cool as they miss out on WrestleMania doesn't make any sense. Back to more nonsense. Finn Balor shows up to fight Penta. I don't know why, but after the Judgment Day ruthlessly beat up Braun Breaker in the back, Penta attacks Finn Balor and the match gets underway. I mean, of course, this match is pretty good. I'm trying to see that mean streak of Finn Balor. Of course, Penta's going to fly all over the ring. Doesn't take long before Braun Breaker comes and intercepts this match. And Dom has to come try and save this boy. And it becomes a melee. Because, boom, these boys get sandwiched. Braun Breaker's really good. I'm going to say that. It does seem, though, like the right direction is going to have to be Judgment Day. Somebody has to win that championship. Because, again, none of us believe in Finn or Dom. They haven't won anything. There's got to be a moment of, at the very least, in which these guys have some dissension that's stirred up amongst them. And I think the best way that would happen is one of them winning. If one of them cost the other the belt, then all they're going to do is be pointing fingers at each other. That's goofy. That's dumb. There should be a reason, a true reason behind one of them actually having some type of envy or something that would cause them to break up as a group. Because, we all know Finn's not listening to Dom. And Dom's at his wit's end when it comes to Finn. So the thing that's going to really drive them apart is one of them winning gold. Not just pointing fingers at who costed who. Because that's something that they've been doing for months. Speaking of things that they've been doing for months, we got a couple vignettes too from Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky. I think it's been unfortunate that we have not creatively seen anything for something that could have been one of the greatest matches, one in ring that we would have seen in a long time. And then again, in the women's division, ever. There's three of the most popular women getting in a match together. Like a lot of people talk about that Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair and that big quadruple fadeaway four-way or triple that whatever they had years ago. This could have been like grander than that. But they're squandering it because all it's been is weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of them meeting up in the ring, arguing, and then they mush Io Sky. And I can't believe that's all the creative things they were able to do here. They haven't seen any growth or development for any of these characters. At the very least, Bianca is at least to come to an understanding in which she's going to have to turn a little bit. She did mention that you guys have yet to see the bad side of her in her promo. I think that's, it's something that's coming out of the way. And then Rhea said y'all going to see the bad side of her. Rhea, you've been nothing but bad. What are you talking about? Always seen as the Karen version of you. You continue to cry and complain that you don't get your opportunities, then you just get awarded with an opportunity. That's crazy work. No, ma'am. Like I said, that match could have been very exciting, I think, from an in-ring perspective, but the way it's been built up, terrible. Anyways, another triple threat that looks like it sucks is this one here. I mean, Paul Heyman was anxious all show in the back, waiting for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns shows up, and of course, when he shows up, which is a weird scene where CM Punk is right there next to Paul Heyman, and he asks Paul Heyman, "Look in my eyes, and what do you see?" Paul Heyman's like, "Oh, close personality?" CM Punk's like, "No." And what was that even about? All Roman Reigns does is see these two cozying up. He's like, he just scoffs and walks away. And Paul Heyman tries to scurry beside him to make sure he meets Roman by the time of the entrance. And by the time Roman Reigns enters the ring, or at least enters the arena, Paul Heyman's acting like nothing's wrong. Everything's okay. Paul, absolutely not. He tries to give Roman Reigns the mic. Roman Reigns is not going for it. And he lets the crowd know that somebody's betraying him. And that's Paul Heyman. And then they don't get too far before Seth Rollins shows up and spits some hard-hitting facts. Because choices were made. And I agree. Seth Rollins says what we've all been thinking. What kind of favor is it that doesn't benefit you, Roman? Why would Joe Boy set up a favor with the ops that you never asked for? It wasn't like he was really trying to help you. He was trying to help himself. He made a decision for himself. Because what's the trickle-down effect of this? Is that now he's faced with a decision to make. Does he root for Roman Reigns? Because you don't just show up with Roman Reigns and then pull up and CM Punk's corner. That's not how that works. Keeping my wise man in there advising somebody else on what to do to beat me, that disloyalty. And that's what Roman Reigns has seen over the last couple of years. Disloyalty. And the person talking about disloyalty, Seth Rollins. That's where he lost me. He also spoke to how he feels like the world of wrestling needs change. It needs a savior. And Roman Reigns has been talking about how he's been able to keep things strong, how he's QB1, how he was Superman over the last few years. But Seth Rollins begs to differ. He believes that right should be bestowed to him because he's there every day, in and out. He's fighting in multiple matches a week even. Roman Reigns, you come in and you dip out as you please. CM Punk, don't even get me started on you because when the going got tough, you grabbed the ball and went to another court. Valid points. So as soon as Roman Reigns decides to let Seth Rollins know he's not going for this anymore, he's done hearing this boy talk, drops him on the floor, and then mushes Paul Heyman. Because Paul Heyman, what the hell wrong with you? So of course CM Punk comes running, and we get a melee of moves. Spear, and a couple stomps. And right before the stomps, Seth Rollins again shows back up in the chair, reminiscing to the Shield days, and hits Roman Reigns in the back. Yeah. Okay, whatever. He hasn't been able to defeat Roman Reigns without taking the chair to his back. And again, a lot of y'all that don't follow a lot of Superstars on X, it's important that you do because Roman Reigns, which you probably dropped on Instagram too, dropped a promo about the moment and one of the turning points in his career is, last year, WrestleMania 40, Seth Rollins was the partner to Cody Rhodes, and he showed up in Seals gear. And Roman Reigns had to make a decision. Bro, I had to slap him in the back with that chair. And even though it might have costed me my championship because that slight moment of delay, that slight decision that I could have made and ended out in another direction, unfortunately, I'll do it again. I would do it again, no matter what the outcome. Because it just has to happen. This boy has to be put down. And so I understand that. I just don't think that these guys should be going so hard for the, really just, the prize is Paul Heyman. The custody for Paul Heyman. Who's going to be Paul Heyman's bestie? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Nah, because these guys are going hard for an announcement of the number one contendership? Maybe. But as it sits, no. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. This does not feel like a WrestleMania worthy Raw to me. Like I said, I was at WrestleMania. I wasn't at WrestleMania 40, but I was at some of the lead-ups to WrestleMania 40, and I think the Raws that I went to were much more pivotal to this, and we were talking about at least a month out. So, a lot of us, particularly me, were talking about the build and how we felt like we weren't getting anywhere. As you can see, this episode, we didn't really get much out of it either. And let's be real. WrestleMania is right around the corner, and what have we developed so far? What have we built up so far? Now, granted, WrestleMania itself will probably be pretty exciting, so I'm excited about that, but I just don't know. I just don't think that we can have like a big moment that turns into nothing, and then like all we could do was live our big moments. Everyone was talking about the John Cena heel turn. That was like a big news, but like, and then what do you follow it up with? Nothing. And we're gonna get a surprise or two in WrestleMania, but it's been lazy and all in between. If your claim to fame, your bread and butter is storytelling and storylines and character development, none of these characters developed. None of them have true aspirations or drive for what they're going to do at WrestleMania. And again, we've omitted plenty of superstars that put in the work. Don't know what we're gonna get, but stay tuned to next.